Hi, everyone. Welcome to Getting Real. I am your host, Monick Halm. And on this episode of Getting Real, we are going to share some Olympic lessons. 6 lessons from the Olympics. So, the 2024 Olympics in Paris just wrapped up. I was riveted to the TV for those couple weeks of the Olympics. I loved every moment. We got the pass that allowed us to see all of these different sports, and I loved watching these athletes and getting this inspiration. And as I was watching and as I was thinking about what I wanted to share in this week's episode of Getting Real, I thought, there's some real lessons that we can take and we can get from these incredible athletes who were able to make it onto, even for the vast majority that did not medal. Just the fact that they made it to that Olympic stage was an incredible accomplishment. And there are lessons in all of it for us. So I want to share 6 lessons today about how you can learn things that we can learn and use for our real estate investing so we can win in this realm. All right, so let's go. So the first lesson that I got is really a lesson about that we can take is the preparation and training. The preparation and training, like I just said, everyone who made it to that Olympics earned that spot by putting in a lot of time, effort, discipline, showing up again and again and again for early mornings, for long workouts, for classes, for training, for physical therapy, for all the things. And that dedication is what got them there. Took a lot of rigorous preparation, a lot of consistency, a lot of discipline. And for there are some superhuman aspects of what they've been able to do. And yeah, some people have, like Michael Phelps, he had these extraordinary long arms, and some people have, you can see that there are certain bodies that are really built for certain sports, and that some people are predisposed to do certain things. But I know this very nice young man who's 6'7" but does not do any sports, right? He could do basketball or volleyball, but he's not. Right. So not everyone, just because they have that physicality, is wants to do that and is willing to put in the work. There was one story from this Olympics that went viral, and I feel really sad for this particular athlete. And I'm talking about the Australian breakdancer Reagan. I don't know if any of you saw her competition. It was, let's just say, my thought when I watched her was, oh, I could do that, right? Like, it was not super impressive. And I thought, oh goodness, I could be an Olympian. And I got so excited. I was like, oh wow, yeah, 4 years, LA, I could do this. It was that, and there was this other woman too, was a one of the refugee ones, and neither of their sets were that challenging. And I thought, oh, I can do this. And I got so excited. Fortunately, for this poor Australian Reagan, she became quite the viral sensation, not in the best way. People found it pretty underwhelming, but I got really excited. But even with my excitement of saying, wow, wow, she can get into the Olympics, maybe I could do it too, I still knew that it would take, and I started to go to look up actually breakdancing schools in Los Angeles. But I knew I would still need to train, and I would need to spend the better part of the next 4 years, not even going to be a sport in LA, which dashed my hopes. But I knew, okay, this could be possible. But even at that particular level of physicality. I knew it was going to take training, it was going to take coaching, it was going to take time, discipline, education to get there. And what how that translates in real estate too is that just like in athletes, real estate investors, we also need to commit to our education, to market research, to skill building, and to continuously doing that, to having that discipline to show up, that discipline around the mindset, that discipline around the skill set, that discipline to get off our assets. The more preparation, training, the more prepared we are, the better our chances of success. So that's lesson 1. Lesson 2 is the importance of setting clear goals. For every sport, almost every sport, most of the sports I saw, when they would show the athletes, they would show the competition they would have the world record number, the Olympic record number, and the year that happened. That was a benchmark they were all shooting towards, right? So they had this goal. So they were looking at this, what's the world record number? What's the Olympic record number? For some people, their goals are not to get to that. Maybe their goal was to make it to let's make it to the semifinals and the quarterfinals and the finals, then onto that podium. I was really inspired by the pole vaulter, Mondo Duplantis, who I think was from Belgium. You might correct me if I'm wrong. But Mondo Duplantis was pretty much head and shoulders over the other pole vaulters who are all already really, really incredible. And at the end, he had, everyone else was out. He had the gold. He had the gold record, and he could have just taken gold medal. He had the gold medal. He could have taken the medal, got onto the podium. Yay, exciting. But no, he went on and he set his bar was somewhere. He set the bar for the Olympic record. And he did his vault, made it, set a new Olympic record. He could have stopped there. He could have celebrated and been finished, but no, he wanted a new world record, which incidentally was his world record. He wanted to be himself. He already had the world record, but he wanted to set a new world record and go even further than his own old world record. So he had them set the bar to that next level. And he did the pole vault, boom, hit the bar, it fell. He could have been done and said, thanks, everybody. I have the new Olympic record. I have the gold medal. We're good. But they give you 3 chances. So he went, had him reset it, went for it again, hit the bar. It fell. Okay. Twice out. He said it again. 3rd chance. Went and he made it. And he set a new Olympic record, which is incredible. Showing this was him against himself, really going after this new world record that he had set. So inspiring. So inspiring. And but every athlete who went there went with a clear goal to make it to this level. And it took a series of milestones throughout to make it even to the Olympics, which was already a huge, huge honor. So what's this lesson for us as real estate investors? The lesson is we need to define specific goal. We need to know, like, what's the bar that we got to jump over. We need to know what's the finish, what does the finish line look like for us? How far away is it, so we can reach it. Um, and it doesn't necessarily require you to do the craziness that these Olympic athletes did, right? As long as you're facing in the right direction, you know what success is, and you move towards it, then you can get there. So you want to define a specific goal, whether that's a number for a passive income you want per month. Maybe that is it is wanting to build a certain amount of equity, net worth, uh, financial independence, being able to retire yourself from your job, retire your spouse, um, purchase a certain number of properties, have a certain number of doors, or whatever you want to be able to leave a legacy. One of my goddesses wanted to, like, have enough so she could start a scholarship to help women in her community go to college. And whatever your goal is, just make sure it's clear. Just like they show the number. Here's the world record number. Here's the Olympic record number. You want to know what's your goal. What are you going after? So that, because clear goals helps us to stay focused, helps us to stay motivated. It guides our investing strategy. And much like, the athletes know exactly what they need in order to get there. And when we have a clear goal, we know what we need to do to get there. Okay, so that's lesson 2. What's our third Olympic lesson? Okay, the third Olympic lesson has to do with the power of teamwork. So even individual the individual athletes, right? The individual swimmers or sprinters um, or pole vaulters or what, marathoners, triathletes, whatever that their sport is. Even the individuals had a team. They have coaches. They have support teams. And then there are sports that actually are teams, right? So the basketball teams, the volleyball teams, the all the rugby teams. That there are a lot of teams, team sports, but even the individuals have teams. They all have that support that's behind them, that is helping propel them forward. And it's the same with real estate. Real estate is a team sport. And our success in real estate investing is built on the strength of our team, our agents, lenders, contractors, mentors. Right? We need a team to help us. Effective teamwork is crucial for getting to the goals. We are not meant to do this alone. No person is an island. We all need a team. Even those athletes, they might be standing alone on that podium, but there's a team behind them that got them there, and everybody celebrates. So for us, as we're going after our real estate goals, let's make sure that we have a solid team that's behind us, that can support us. We don't need to do it alone. Get the best team you can, work with the best. They won't cost you money, they'll make you money. That is one of the best lessons I've learned in real estate investing, and it's something that I saw in the Olympics. All right. Lesson number 4. This is a lesson about the power of being able to overcome adversity and to be resilient. And it's also a lesson that I learned, and I want to specifically talk about Simone Biles, who just gave a master class in this Olympics and the last one about what it is to be a true, what true success looks like. Okay. So, just to give some background for those of you who happen to have been, I don't know where you were, that you might not have heard about Simone Biles' whole story, but I'll share it for some context here. 2016, Rio, Simone Biles dominates, comes out, does stuff nobody has ever seen a woman gymnast do. She's just head and shoulders above everyone else. We're all blown away, right? The world is blown away by her. And so coming into, and it's 2020, which actually the 2020 Olympics happened in 2021 and Japan pushed back because of COVID. So 5 years later, she's like, everyone is expecting so much from her. There is a lot of pressure on this young woman. She's dealt with pressure, but something starts to happen to her. And it's something called the twisties. So the twisties is, I just learned about this recently, but when an gymnast is in the air, like they're basically, there's a disconnect between their mind and their body, and they literally lose a sense of where they are in space. And if you have seen Simone Biles do her gymnastics, do her leaps, and it's amazing what she does and how she does it. She has all these moves named after her because she does things nobody else in the world has ever been able to do. But she's up there doing these 3.5 spins, and then it's supposed to land on her feet. She's up there, and she was in Tokyo, and she was supposed to do this move she'd done hundreds of times. She had this like muscle memory. She's going, and she's supposed to do 2.5 or 3.5. I can't remember, but she's only able to do 1.5, and then she lands it. Tries it again. She does 1.5, almost falls, and they're up there. She falls. She could fall on her neck. The girl could die. Right? It's super dangerous what she's doing, and she's not able to execute these maneuvers that she probably could do in her sleep. And she realized it was very dangerous. And this was in the middle of the team competition, but she realized, you know what? I can't do this. I just, and she pulled out. She quit. She was in the middle of the competition. She said, I can't do this. She did end up doing one. She did the beam and got bronze, which for her, she said later, this was like a medal that meant almost the most to her because it was really her taking care of herself. She got so much slack. She got so much hate for pulling out of the gymnastics when she did. People called her a quitter, and that was one of the nicer things people called her. There were sexist things, there were racist things, there were like really horrible things said about her for pulling out when she did. She was a quitter. She should never have done that, blah, blah, blah. And especially deserting her team, like what kind of person is she? Like she's all the expletives. And also at this time, the little, to go back to give a little history, in 2018, there was an Olympic, like a gymnast, a doctor for the gymnast, like Nasser, I think Larry Nasser is his name, who came out, he had sexually assaulted and abused hundreds of gymnasts, including Simone Biles. So that had come up, and in 2021 in Tokyo, she was suffering from some PTSD around that. They had to do, they were testifying in court. They came out. She was the only participant in the Olympics that had actually had that experience with that doctor. And which probably contributed to the twisties, all the pressure from having, all the pressure from coming back after, and having being put up on this pedestal and having such high expectations, plus this PTSD, and then the twisties happen. So she honored what was happening to herself, and she did something that was super courageous and brave, and must have required so much fortitude to say, I can't do this, I'm out. And she spent the next 2 years going to therapy, taking care of herself. Little by little, she came back, and then she came back, and she crushed it in Paris. She was incredible, still the GOAT. And she had to overcome this adversity, and that listening to what was happening inside, taking care of herself, focusing on her self-care, that was the strength. So she was able to come back stronger than ever. In the morning of the competition at 7 a.m., she was on a Zoom call with her therapist. She learned the importance of taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. She held back on talking to reporters so much. Yeah. And she came back stronger than ever. What I love about the Olympics are all the stories. And when you watch the Olympics and really listen, pretty much every athlete has had some sort of adversity that they have had to overcome. Some, what's his name? The pommel horse guy with the glasses, the pommel horse guy. His eyesight's so bad that he can't even get a driver's license. He's had some adversity. He knew he couldn't be awesome at everything. He just focused in on his pommel horse, and he came in and he pummeled that pommel horse. And the U.S. men won, team won bronze for the first time in I don't know how many years, a long time. He had that. There was the young woman who won the skate park competition. She, I think, broken her knees and the shoulder. So everybody, all of them had competitions they'd lost. All of them, many have had serious injuries. Many, they've all had adversity. But what makes them different from so many is they kept going. They came back. They competed again. And that's the lesson that we can take is adversity is inevitable in real estate. There are market downturns. There are deals that fail. There might be people that you interact with that are out of integrity and are frauds. There are personal setbacks, right? You could be in it and have issues, family issues, people who die, personal sickness. I have a very beloved goddess who's dealing with cancer. Things happen. Life happens. What makes for success, whether in the Olympic Games or in life, is the ability to come back, keep going, not quit, to persist, right? Fall down 7 times, get up 8. And that is the key to long-term success. People who are successful are not the ones who never fail. The people who are successful are the ones who don't quit, who keep at it, who keep going. And despite all the, despite life and happening to us. So that's lesson number 4. All right. Lesson number 5. This is staying focused under pressure. Um, and there was so many. I mean, focus is the name of the game in the Olympics. Right? They have to be able to focus, and like that. Oftentimes, the difference between gold and even not being on the podium. I'm not even talking about the difference between gold and silver. I'm talking about the difference between gold and 4th or 5th place. It's thousandths of a second. The difference is so small, right? When they're swimming, when they're running, like so often, sometimes it's a longer race, or it can be a little longer, but especially in those like quick race, it is milliseconds difference between one and the other, right? Number 1 and number 8. And so the it's so important that you're focused, like a half second, a quarter second of unfocus when the gun goes off, right? Then you're done. So this focus, but also I was really inspired, and I enjoyed watching with my 15-year-old the women. I'm going to say girls, because most of them were less than most of them were teenagers, but the women's skate park finals, and there were 8 of them, and they were doing these incredible tricks, but they have each 3 chances to do. They had 45 seconds and 3 chances, and whatever their best round is what that's the score they get. And the one who ended up winning gold, she fell during her first round. So there were 2 that made it out of the 8. 6 of them fell. 2 stayed up and had great rounds. But this one, she fell. Like, she was amazing, but she fell, I think, halfway through. And so that was a bad score. And she had to be able to come back, refocus, which she did. She came back and she crushed it. And um, the next 2 rounds she did awesome, and it might even have been her 3rd round where she came back best of all. Sometimes they'll fall and it gets in their head and they're not able to come back. But that lesson for us as real estate investors is we want to be able to stay focused under pressure, right? There, in every deal at some point, something is going to go wrong or not according to plan. It's like 99% of the time, there's something that happens that throws something or else off, something or the other off. So we just need to be able to stay focused. And whether we're facing a volatile market, a challenging deal, we just need to stay calm, learn from mistakes, rely on our team, and learn and use setbacks as opportunities to improve. Okay, so that's the lesson. And last but not least, I want to share this lesson that I got from Mel Robbins. Was actually doing an episode I listened to earlier today. It's like, oh, Mel Robbins is doing one on what you can learn from the Olympics for life. And she had this one point about the bronze medal attitude and the importance of having a bronze medal attitude, not the gold medal attitude, a bronze medal attitude. And here's what she meant by that. And I thought, this is awesome. I'm going to talk about this. So the bronze, there's the podium, right? The gold is there's the top, and the one side is the bronze, the other side is the silver. And if you notice, the person who's in bronze is like thrilled to be. Of course, the person who's won gold is so excited, and they won the gold. The person who's bronze is super happy. The person who's in silver tends to not be as happy. And they've done tests, they've studies and shown this. So the person who one, silver, is often thinking about, God, if only I had just done this thing a little different, I'd be in the gold place, right? And they're comparing themselves to gold and feeling badly that they're not on the top of the podium often. Whereas the bronze tends to be comparing themselves to the people who didn't make it on the podium at all. And they're just so excited to be there. They're just so thrilled they made it. They made it there. And gosh, dang it, the one who I feel the most sorry for is the fourth place person. Poor guy, he's not even or lady. He's usually like just this much off, and then I get nothing. No, nothing. So the bronze, they're so excited that they got on there, right? They made it in the top three, and they're comparing down to where they are. So it's this. It's basically your focus. Are you looking at where you're not, or are you looking at how far you come and where you are, and being able to celebrate? Wow, I made this. I made it here. All right. And number four can be excited that they made it to the Olympics at all. And they made it to the finals. Right. And silver, of course, can be excited that they're there and they're like the number two. Right. But adopt this mindset in your journey in real estate and in life, that how awesome is it that you're even on this journey? So a lot of times people will have this compare and despair, and you're looking at, oh, I don't have as many doors as that person, or I'm not at financial freedom yet. I only have $1,000 a month of passive income, um, and I really want to have 5,000 or 10,000 a month, and I'm only here. So instead of that, be super excited. Oh my gosh, you have passive income. You're in the game. You have a door. You're here. Or even if you don't have it yet, you're learning. You're here. You're in the field. And we're going to get excited about that, and staying excited about how far you've come keeps us motivated. If we look at where we need, we're judging ourselves against this horizon line, or against like, oh, I'm not Simone Biles, right? Like, I'm not the Mondo Duplantis, it's like there are always going to be people that have more success, that have more money, that have more doors, that have more. And if you compare yourself to them, you'll feel badly. But if you compare yourself to who you used to be, compare yourself to how far you've come, what you've learned, like compare yourself to you from a year ago, from 5 years ago, from 10 years ago, and to the others who can't even think about doing what you've done. Right? Then you can feel really appreciative. You can be excited. You can jump. You can bite on your medal, your bronze medal that you're here, write on your keys, and and just celebrate yourself. So those are the lessons that I've gotten. I hope you get from this Olympics, and you know, and hopefully this will help you stay motivated and win this game of real estate investing and reach the goals that you've set. We are going to conclude with a trinity. So I'll share brag, a gratitude, and a desire. I'd love for you to think of yours and put in the chat if you want. So what's a brag? So brag, a celebration. I brag that I'm about to have, I'm going to be having a milestone birthday, though I'm going to just say that I've decided I'm forever 35. But nevertheless, I'm having 50 days of fun. And I started yesterday. And yesterday I had and my daughter is really engaged and excited to help me celebrate these 50 days of fun. She went on chat and created a schedule with the AI on what we can do for 50 days to celebrate. And yesterday we had a sunset picnic and played on the playground. And today we're going to be doing a VR exercise class, hip hop class. Asked if they had breakdancing. They did not. But anyway, so I brag and celebrate just that, because um, this next 50 days of fun and having my family on board and having fun with me. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my daughter, who is really helping. And I'm grateful for all my kids, but for now, I'll just focus on the one Allie, and how she's really helping me, and she's really cute about this 50 days of fun. So I'm grateful for that. And I desire, what's my desire? So I desire that all of us have fun. I desire that I really want to usher out this decade with fun, and bring in this new one with fun. And I want you all to have fun, especially in your investing. My desire is that this journey, in my program, we really focus on increasing our joy and pleasure, in life, while we're increasing our net worth. And so my desire is that all of us experience a lot more joy and fun. Like, this is life is a game. Like, let's have fun with it, and let's continue to play. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope you can apply these Olympic lessons to your life. Let me know how that goes. Thank you for getting real with me today. So let's get real, and we'll stay real. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.